Is it possible for PVDs to take all of our work if we go on strike?
The facts, dates, and events presented in this video are from the members' best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are our own and do not necessarily represent my employer's positions, strategies, or opinions. All views shared are protected under the National Labor Relations Act.
What is going on, everybody? So today I have Greg Kerwood out of Local 25 in Boston, and we're going to be covering basically how the members will be talking in the locker rooms, or you may catch them outside, and they will talk about if we end up going on strike, how we're not going to be able to withstand it, how the company is going to bulldoze us, how this is a bad move, blah, 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 right? Our last video, for all of you who did not catch it, we basically get into how negotiations are going slow and how that could be a potential thing on the uprising if things don't start moving along much quicker. People think that the company can take us out because they're going to have so many people crossing the picket line, and if we go on a strike, that there's going to be so many scabs. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think there's a lot of folks out there that don't have as much faith in their fellow members as they should. But there's a very large difference between someone saying they're going to cross a picket line or someone thinking that people are going to cross a picket line and actually crossing a physical picket line. Anybody who's been on a picket line and has seen scabs try to cross a picket line knows that you do not want to be that person. You do not want to be driving your personal car trying to get onto a lot or trying to drive a truck out of the lot.
Shame on you! 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 Shame on you!
Beyond that, it's a bad life choice to make that decision. Because when the strike ends and we win, anybody who crosses that line is going to be ostracized forever. No one's going to forget. I can assure you there are possibilities of being brought up on charges by the local and removed from the union and things like that. But beyond that, it's a very short-term solution to a long-term problem, and it doesn't really solve anything for you. And I hesitate to think that many people would make that bad decision.
So the second thing that we're hearing a lot is these PVDs, personal vehicle drivers, that we see them during Christmas, and that they're going to take all of our slack and start doing all our work. And on top of it, for anybody who doesn't know, there's another company called Roadie that UPS actually acquired, which is the same thing as a PVD, so we'll just lump those in together. Is it possible for PVDs to take all of our work if we go on strike?
It's completely and totally mathematically impossible. We deliver over 20 million packages per day. Even assuming that you could get the packages to the buildings, which will be very difficult without planes and feeders.
2,000 pilots, not one of them has crossed the line, and planes are parked all over the world, okay?
Thank you! Yeah!
We're going to get you jobs, full-time jobs. We're going to protect your pension.
Thank you!
We're going to help you protect your pension.
We're going to help you.
And never mind people to unload and scan and sort all those packages. You would still need at least 500,000 PVDs instantly in order to scratch the surface of what we deliver on a daily basis. On top of that, PVDs have no experience with commercial deliveries. They have no experience picking things up. I can't imagine how they would pick up skids full of packages in their little Honda Civic. So it's something that people latch on to because they see a PVD delivering a package, but it's a completely absurd idea that PVDs can do what we do.
Another thing to consider is that the PVDs have a hard time parking their cars in big cities like New York, Atlanta. And on top of that, there's a bottleneck issue. Amazon's already tried to do this with Amazon Flex drivers, and it's proven to be not very successful for them. You'll see them every once in a while on your route, but for the most part, they don't acquire them anymore because there's a bottleneck issue when people have to pull into the buildings, the hubs, and they start loading in their cars. They can only fit so much in there. They got to cram everything in there, and then they leave. And guess what? They got like 80 other cars behind them. People give up. They say, screw this. I'm not getting paid for me waiting in line. I'm going to leave. So it's just chaos. It's utter chaos. It doesn't work. All right. Now we're going to talk about losing business. You know, when we go on strike, we're going to lose the business. And then saying that we come back to work, you know, there's going to be a bunch of people out of work after that. You know, what do you have to say about that?
Well, that's an argument that the company likes to throw out there every contract year. The bottom line is, you know, are some places going to switch companies temporarily? Absolutely. However, you know, the UPS is still the best in the business. The companies get a discount from UPS based on the volume that they ship over the course of the year. So they're not going to give that up, even for something temporarily. And, you know, we saw this before in 97, you know, the packages bottomed out during the strike, and, you know, company profits rebounded, you know, within a quarter to higher than they were before. So the volume came back very quickly. It is a slow sort of moving process to restart the operation. But once it's back up and running, I guarantee that, you know, the company will be right back where it was, because there's just more packages every single day, and will be for the foreseeable future. So there's no way that even if anybody could pick up our volume, which they can't, there's still going to be more volume to come down the road. So it's really not a legitimate concern.
Relating to that issue is that Amazon and FedEx and the post office, they're going to take all of our work and put us out of business. Now, is that possible?
That, again, is a mathematical impossibility. The USPS, if anybody knows a postal worker, is completely maxed out already. They're already working 6-7 days a week, you know, with no days off, you know, 12-hour days. FedEx is a mess. They currently do less volume per day than we do. They would have to double their capacity overnight to take our packages, as would Amazon. And Amazon doesn't do pickups from other carriers or other shippers, and they don't deliver anything but their own stuff. So they don't have the last mile capacity to deliver, you know, all of that volume. So there's absolutely no way that our competition can come close to picking up 20 million packages a day that we deliver.
Another thing to add is that Amazon can't even deliver all of their own stuff. We oftentimes do a lot of their work. So they're completely out of the possibility realm of doing any work. If anything, it's going to put them in even a worse position. The post office is running extremely slow now, as Greg said. So I just don't see it happening. And, you know, FedEx is in a lot of trouble right now. So they laid off a bunch of people. They're having situations or issues with the subcontracting drivers they had. So it's very interesting. So anyways, I'm going to go into what oftentimes happens is that there's bad media that's spread around during this time. Whenever there's talks of a potential strike, there's articles placed out there. They get shared online. They get shared to their friends. Hey, check out this article. And they may have a bunch of, we'll put quote unquote facts of what they believe things are true. And Greg's laughing because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. What's your 2 cents on this?
Well, I think members need to be aware that just because something, you know, has a magazine sounding title and claims to be an article written by someone, you know, who's a consultant, for lack of a better term, doesn't mean that that's some kind of independent journalist doing any kind of research. The company has ample means to put stuff out in the media that carries their message. The articles that I've seen of that nature are not accurate at all, and are clearly one-sided. If you're reading something that doesn't even have a statement from the other side, from our side, doesn't have any actual facts that are, independent facts, chances are it was put out there by someone who either works for the company or, is sympathetic to the company's cause, and is out there to sow discord amongst us. I wouldn't pay any attention to it, and I certainly wouldn't share it and spread it around, despite the fact that you may think that, oh, this is ridiculous, and want people to check it out. Some of the people that you are going to check that out are not going to understand that it's ridiculous, and may actually believe it. And so I would advise everyone to stop spreading that garbage around, because you're just doing the company's work for them.
On the back tail of that, we hear these crazy rumors sometimes. I've had it happen twice to me recently, where the stuff that's said is absolutely false, like not even close to being right. I've had somebody tell me that UPS is telling their shareholders they're going to bust the union. And I mean, what do you have to say about that, Greg?
That's completely laughable. I mean, you have to keep in mind that shareholders are interested in profit. The company is going to lose over $1 billion a week if we go on strike. There isn't a shareholder in the world that's going to be happy about that, even remotely happy about that. The idea that they're going to sit on their hands while UPS runs itself into the ground to try to break our union is pretty much absurd. The shareholders are going to demand that the company get this done ASAP so they can get back to making money, which is what shareholders are interested in. So the idea that they're gonna break our union is laughable.
Now, I want everybody to do me a solid, or do yourself a solid. If you see people that you think are going to be crossing the picket line if we go on strike, go up and talk to them now, and just have those one-on-one conversations with them, and tell them the position we're in, and tell them what's online, what's the stake here. And I mean, we got like 14 weeks to prepare for this, right? We might as well take advantage of that. And guess what? If we don't go on strike, that's even better. We're good. Everybody has a fair contract they're happy with, right? But if not, let's get prepared now. So Greg, of course, gotta appreciate you coming on. You're the numbers guy. Is there anything that comes to mind that we left out this evening?
I don't think so. I think everybody needs to understand that there's a lot of nonsense out there. There's a lot of sort of hearsay facts and stories that I heard this from so and so or whatever. The truth is out there. It's been documented. The evidence is there. We deliver 20 million packages a day. No one's going to pick up that volume. No one's going to steal all that business. The company will bounce back from a strike. They are going to lose a fortune every week that goes by. We have all the leverage in the world in this scenario, provided we stick together and we stand united, and we make them put their money where their mouth is. And if we do those things, we have all the leverage. And the idea for them is to convince us that we don't have that leverage, because that's the only chance they have. And the reality is we have it. We know we have it, and we're going to use it if we have to. And that's what's going to get us the best contract ever.
All right, so I want to give a shout out to 2 videos. If you want more information on this stuff, there's a TDU workshop that's on YouTube called UPS by the Numbers. It basically outlines a lot of what we just covered, and really well done. Got to give a shout out to them. Another one is a driver who basically retired recently, but he was out there during the 97 strike, and he documented everything. And it's a 2-hour long video, but I'm hoping to have him on the channel soon, because I'd love to interview him, to talk to him about the 97 strike. But I gotta give him a shout out, because I'm probably going to end up using some of his footage on this channel for this video. So I'll put that link down below as well. So I'm going to throw it to you, Greg. Shout outs. What are you going to shout out tonight?
I think tonight I'm going to have to shout out all the members of the bargaining committees. They've all been down in Washington this week, putting the screws to the company, working till 11 p.m. midnight every single day, trying to get this company to move and get what we need. They have our backs, and they need to know that we have their backs, because we're all on the same team. So I want to give them a big shout out for going down there and getting it done.
Nice. And I'm going to give a shout out to Danny Arlen. He's been on my channel before. He got terminated twice and got back pay both times. But now he's created a podcast called the Biweekly Grievance Show. And I'll put the link of that down below as well. He had a interview this week with Matt Maney out of Rhode Island, talking about the strike that's going on in the college up there. Very fascinating interview. He's doing a great job. And that's all I got. We make these videos every Sunday, so be sure to check it out. And if you want to share it, share it. I do appreciate you guys. And next week's video, we're going to have Teddy from the Upsurge podcast come on. And since he works in the media aspect of things, he's going to let us know what we need to be on the lookout for if we end up going on strike, how the media is going to start trying to attack us at what angles. And it's going to be a fascinating interview with him. So appreciate your time. Love you guys. See you next time.